Hello everyone, my name is George and I would like to present to you today how to emulate Amiga next-gen operating systems on any other computer running Linux, macOS or Windows in a way that it is quite easy for everyone to run it. So grab a cup of tea and let's start. So what I would like to show you today is uh, how you can use QEMU to emulate PowerPC systems and install and run AmigaOS 4.1, the final edition, MorphOS, or even AROS. To do that, I would like to present you a tool that I created specifically for these operating systems that works as a front end for QEMU. I call it KeyVos, and what it does is to help the user in a easy to use user interface to set up virtual machines on your Linux machine or your Mac OS or Windows machine and run the AmigaOS 4, MorphOS, or AROS. Kyvos is the name is coming from the Greek word kyvos, which means cube. And I think that a small cube, a virtual machine, is like a small cube inside your main computer, and you can have multiple of them as parts of your main computer. Kyvos is running on different operating systems, mainly on Mac OS, running on Intel CPU or Apple Silicon CPU, Linux 64-bit and on ARM 32-bit, and Windows. You can find it. Let me show you my website. You can find it at my coffee.com/Volquero website. I have there the shop where you can find the version 2, Kyvos version 2, which can be bought and downloaded for all of these operating systems. Along with the binaries, you can also get a full manual with more than 120 pages where I describe exactly every step and how to use Kyvos, but also how to emulate all the previous operating systems that I mentioned, AmigaOS 4, MorphOS, and AROS. And it has a lot of pages of information that I gathered from different websites and forums that can solve small issues that you might have on your system. It's a very good source for all that information because even if you decide to not use my tool, they are useful because, of course, you can use QEMU to emulate these operating systems without having a front end. But Kyvos is making that much more easier, and I would like to show you what is doing. So in front of me, I have my trusty laptop, which is Lenovo Z710, and I have it for more than 14 years, so it's not a new system. But this is my daily driver, and I do all the development on that. It's running Linux right now with Manjaro, and the Windows that you see is the first Windows that you see when you run for the first time Kyvos. It starts with a simple wizard that helps the user to um, make the setup, the initial setup for the emulation. So the first step is Kyvos needs a few extra applications to be installed. First of all, it needs QEMU. Version 10.2 and above they are the best that you can use because they have a lot of fixes and They are the recommended. The latest version right now is version 11. It also needs the 7-zip. And another tool that it requires is MK-ISO-FS. The last one is only if you want to use one of the features that Kyvos provides, and that is an automated installation of AmigaOS 4. But this is something that we can see in a future video. So the first thing that we can do here is check dependencies. As you can see here, uh, every dependency has a blue tick at the left side, which means that Kyvos found everything in the path and it is ready to be used. In the manual that I talked about earlier, you can find all the necessary packages that you need to download for all that software, the QEMU, 7-zip, and MK-ISO-FS for Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, commands how to install them, or resources where to download them. In case that Kyvos doesn't find a specific tool, there is this button that says Set Paths Manually, and by clicking that, you can set where exactly this can be found. This is a step that needs to be done only once, and after that, you don't need to do it again. By clicking Continue, you go to the second step, where Kyvos asks to download 3 packages that are necessary for the emulation. The only thing that you need to do here is click the download button. And that gradually will download every single uh, package. The blue tick says that we got them, and then we can continue, and then finish. That setup window, if you want to find it again or make any changes, you can go to the project menu, click on setup, and you are again in that window. The other menus that Kyvos has is actions, where we can create a hard disk image file if needed. Languages, where you can select your preferred language if this is available. Right now, Kyvos is translated completely in 9 different languages, but more can be added in the future. And help, where you can find some useful links and the about window, for example, where you can find information about Kyvos and some useful links. I would like to point this one that has to do with the roadmap. And that one has leads you to a website that I maintain where I have all the future features that I will implement in different versions and the ones that I'm working and the status of them. As you can see, right now I'm running 2.10 and 2.2.0 is in the works and it's pretty close to be finished. So from that side, you can see which the status of the of Kyvos and the feature uh, implementations. There is also news to track all the changes that are happening and different issues that I'm working on. To emulate Amiga OS 4.1, we need the operating system CD ISO files. For me, I have created in my home folder a VMs new folder where I intend to store all my VMs. And in there, I have a folder called required. In there, you will find the Amiga 1 install CD, the Pegasus 2 install CD, and the SAM 460 install CD. Those are the 3 systems that currently are supported by QEMU. Depending on which one you want to emulate, you need the relative ISO image. They are provided either online if you buy them online, or by the retailer shops. And you can find the list of the retailer shops from the Hyperion Entertainment website. If you want to buy online the AmigaOS 4.1, in my page for Kyvos, I have two links for the Pegasus 2 and for the SAM 460 version of AmigaOS 4.1, which you can use to buy them and download them instantly. If you choose that solution, then I'm going to receive a small commission that will help further the development of Kyvos and of all of my projects. We also need the free packages for the updates that were released for the AmigaOS 4 4.1 final edition. They are needed because files from these packages are used during the setup. Now, if you want to install MorphOS, you will need the latest version of MorphOS 3.19 right now, the ISO file inside that folder. Let's create our first virtual machine running Amiga OS 4.1. I will keep these files at the side, and I will bring back the window from Kyvos. Clicking the first button at the top bar, it says create a virtual system. Now we have two different options here, but today I'm going to show you only the automatic option. Here are the information that we need to insert to create a virtual machine. First of all, we have to give it a name. Let's say that I want to create an Amiga 1, Amiga OS 4.1 for the Amiga 1 XC system. So I will name it OS4 A1XC. But you can give any name that you like. From this select box, you can select which operating system you want to install. So I'm going to select the first one. Destination path is the path where the virtual machine files are going to be installed. So for me, I'm going to select Home, VMs. ISO files path is the path that we have all the necessary files, which are the files that we saw earlier here. So for me, I'm going to select Home, VMs required. Disable has check is a checkbox that you can select if you are sure that you have the right ISO file, but for some reason Kyvos sees that it is not the right one. That is helpful in case of future releases, let's say for the MorphOS or AmigaOS 4.1, and you know that you have the right ISO, but Kyvos doesn't recognize it. For now, I'm going to leave it unchecked. Automatic installation on first boot. This is enabled only for AmigaOS 4.1 and only for systems, emulated systems that are Pegasus 2 and the Amiga 1 XE. For now, I'm going to leave it unchecked, and I'm going to click on Create. Here, right now, the virtual machine is already set up, and we see here all the steps that it took to create the virtual machine. And also, it created a hard disk image with 1 gigabyte of size. As you can see on the left side bar, we already have the virtual machine created. Let's create one more machine for MorphOS. Automatic. I'm giving a name, 3.19. For a Mac computer. I'm going to select here. For MorphOS, there are two options, a Mac PowerPC system and a Pegasus 2. I'm going to select the Mac. Leave everything as they are because that's where I want to store the files, and the required files are here. Create. Again, in a matter of seconds, the virtual machine is set up. As you can see at the side, MorphOS also added in the list. You can see the icons of the operating system so that you can distinguish them easily. And there is a small bluish rectangle that shows that these systems are not running. Let me minimize the other window and move it, Kyvos here. Let me run the OS 4.1 system. By clicking this play button over here in the top bar, the virtual machine is running, and you can see that the icon changes to a green play icon. Of course, the window opens for QEMU, and you can see the operating system booting from the ISO image. From here, you can proceed with the setup of the operating system. To close that, you can close it either from the window or go to Kyvos and press the stop button here. And that closes the virtual machine. The same we can do with MorphOS. As you can see, QEMU is starting, booting the PowerPC Mac emulated system, and the bigger window opens for the MorphOS to start from the ISO to install it. Let's drink some tea. And the first window from the MorphOS operating system shows up. Again, I can move the window at the side and close it from here. Let's see what did Kyvos created in our hard disk. If you select any of these virtual machines, you can go here at this window and click the folder, and that opens on your system the folder with all the files for that virtual machine. So Kyvos created a configuration file that has all the information for the QEMU and the emulated system, a hard disk image. Right now that takes around 200 kilobytes, but it can grow as you put files in there. And the maximum size that we'll get is the 1 gigabyte of files. A kickstart.zip file that is necessary for booting the AmigaOS 4, and that is created only for AmigaOS 4.1 Final Edition running on emulated Pegasus 2 and Amiga 1 XE. All the other systems are not having this file. And the Kyvos log file that keeps the latest information coming from QEMU. For MorphOS, it has the config file, the hard disk image, and the Kyvos log. That's all I would like to show you today on this video. More videos are going to come in the future for more of the features that Kyvos provides and what can you actually do with it. Let me remind you that you can find Kyvos on my Ko-fi page, ko-fi.com/Volkero. Kyvos 2.1 is the latest version right now. I'm working for the next one. And if you want to try it without before you buy it, there is the older version one, Kyvos version 1.8. That's what was the latest version. This is completely free. It has most of the features of Kyvos, and it also has the manual. Um, it lacks all the latest version, all the latest features that introduced on Kyvos version 2, but it is a good starting point if you want to try running AmigaOS 4 or MorphOS on your system free without paying for Kyvos. You will need to pay for the operating system, of course. I would also like to add that this version of Kyvos, version 1, is not going to take any more updates since the work is already moved to version 2. So that's all I would like to share with you today. As I said, more videos are going to come about Kyvos. Stay tuned on my channel and we'll talk to you again soon. Before we close, I would like to thank my supporters on the coffee.com and especially my benefactor supporters who are Breed, Christopher White, Emek, Rear Window, and Thomas Coles. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and see you on the next one.